So let's talk about what's going on inside that little head. Miniature American Shepherds are sharp. Seriously, they're usually ranked right at the top when we talk about smart dogs. It's kind of spooky how fast they pick stuff up. They don't just learn, they solve problems. It's not just about sitting when you say sit. This comes from their herding roots. They were bred to move cows and sheep, so they have to make snap decisions all by themselves. That instinct is still buzzing around in there today. But here's the thing about owning a genius dog. It's a total double-edged sword. If you aren't paying attention, that brain is still working. And if you aren't steering the ship, they're going to steer it for you. They figure out loopholes faster than you can blink. Boring drills? Forget it. They'll fake you out just to get a treat or get out of work. You gotta be the leader here, but keep it chill. You can't be harsh with them because they're super sensitive. You want them on your team, so keep it positive. Look, potty training is tough. It's honestly the part that breaks most people. You need patience, buckets of it. Even if you're watching them like a hawk, accidents are going to happen. It's just part of the deal. Please, get this through your head right now. Your dog isn't peeing on the rug to make you mad. They aren't doing it out of spite. It's usually just a mix-up in communication, or maybe their little body just isn't ready yet. Think about the physiology here. It's like a human baby. They literally don't have the muscles to hold it in yet. The rule of thumb is 1 hour for every month they've been alive. If you expect more than that, you're setting them up to fail. Then there's the learning gap. They just don't know the rules yet. They haven't realized that inside is for chilling and outside is for business. You need to show them that hundreds of times before it clicks. It takes a while to build that habit. Now, if your dog was doing great and suddenly starts having accidents, check their health. Or if they're going constantly, something's wrong. It could be a UTI, maybe bladder stones. It hurts and they can't help it. Tummy troubles from a new food or parasites can cause diarrhea they can't hold. If you think it's medical, go to the vet. Don't wait. Just remember, accidents are inevitable at the start. It's normal. Don't lose your cool because they'll feel your stress. Cleaning up is where almost everyone messes up. It's huge. When a puppy goes on the carpet, they leave behind pheromones. It's like a big invisible sign that says, "Bathroom here." Their biology screams at them to go in that same spot again. The biggest mistake? Using regular cleaners, or stuff with ammonia. Think about it. Urine has ammonia in it. So if you clean with ammonia, you're basically refreshing the scent marker. You have to use an enzymatic cleaner. This is non-negotiable. These things are designed to actually eat the proteins in bacteria. It doesn't just cover up the smell with flowers. It destroys it. If you don't break it down chemically, your dog will smell it. Their noses are insane. You won't smell a thing, but they will, and they'll think it's okay to go there again. If you skip this, you're just asking for repeat offenses in the exact same spot. These dogs are pattern machines. You need a schedule, a strict one. If they know what's coming next, they chill out. It clears up all the confusion. A solid routine tells them exactly when and where to go. It's all about rhythm. Break their day into chunks. Eat, train, play, nap, potty. Boom! That regulates their digestion. It makes the output predictable instead of a guessing game. Let's talk food. Mealtimes need to be set in stone. If the input is consistent, the output is consistent. Feed them 2 or 3 times a day. Same time, every day. Don't just leave a bowl of food out. That's called free feeding, and it's a nightmare for potty training. You'll never know when they need to go. Control the food, and you control the poop. Okay, here are the 5 times you absolutely must take them out. First, immediately upon waking up. I don't care if it's morning or after a nap. Pick them up and go. Before you make coffee, before you check your phone, it's the number one time they need to go. Next is shortly after every meal. Eating wakes up their gut. Usually 10 to 30 minutes after eating, they gotta go. Then, take them out after every play or training session. Getting excited puts pressure on the bladder. As soon as the game stops, go outside. Be boring about it. Next, never leave them alone with a full tank. Before you crate them or leave the house, take a break. It prevents panic accidents. Finally, right before bed, make sure they're empty so you can actually sleep. Keep a journal too. Write down when they eat and when they go. This helps you see the pattern. You'll spot their cycle before they even beg to go out. But listen, consistency is everything. Everyone in the house has to be on the same page. If you're strict but your partner lets the dog wander off, it won't work. You gotta be a team. Stick to the plan. It's the only way this works. Good luck. The first year of a miniature American Shepherd's life is honestly the make or break time for building a confident, polite dog. To help you keep your sanity, the AKC has these two incredible programs called STAR Puppy and Canine Good Citizen. They aren't just fancy certificates to hang on the wall. They're actually official titles you add to your dog's pedigree, which is pretty cool. Think of it as your badge of honor for responsible ownership. First up is the STAR Puppy program, which is basically puppy kindergarten on steroids. The acronym stands for socialization, training, activity, and responsibility. It's a 6-week course with an expert evaluator who guides you through the chaos. The syllabus covers 20 specific behaviors, including the potty training stuff you're likely crying about right now. The best part is that it focuses on steady improvement, not perfection. It gives you the structure you need to actually survive these potty training months without losing your mind. Then you've got the Canine Good Citizen, or CGC. We call this the gold standard for a reason. It's all about teaching your dog to keep their cool in polite society. The test covers 10 skills, like walking through a crowd or ignoring distractions. While it's not strictly a potty training test, a dog with this level of self-control is way easier to manage at home. Plus, landlords love seeing this title on a rental application. These initiatives work together to ensure your smart herding dog gets the structure they desperately need. Let's talk about the bladder math, because you need to know what's physically possible to avoid setting yourself up for failure. People love the month-to-hour ratio to set their expectations. It's a decent baseline that says a puppy can hold it 1 hour for every month they've been alive. So a 2-month-old pup can wait 2 hours, and a 4-month-old gets you 4. But please, do not treat this like it's a scientific law written in stone. It's just a loose guideline. The math totally falls apart as they get older, since a 12-month-old obviously shouldn't hold it for 12 hours. Pushing them to their absolute limit is actually super dangerous for their health. You're asking for a UTI if you do that. You've got to factor in other stuff, like their sleep state. At night, their metabolism slows down and hormones help suppress urine, so they can hold it way longer. But then you have activity levels to worry about. If your puppy has the zoomies, they're processing water through their system fast. A puppy that's been running around like a maniac needs to go now. Math be damned. You can also help yourself by picking up the water bowl a couple of hours before bed. And watch out for sudden changes, because that usually means a medical issue. Use the formula as a starting point, sure, but the better strategy is to just take them out more than you think you need to, being proactive rather than reactive. If you live somewhere that requires indoor pads, you have to be smart about what you buy. You've got a herding breed with high energy and sharp little teeth, not a lazy lapdog. You need something tough, absorbent, and totally different from your rugs so they don't get confused. Because, let's be real, A bored AMS will turn a flimsy pad into a shredding toy in 5 seconds flat. Heavy-duty disposable pads are a popular choice. They handle a lot of liquid and usually turn it into gel, so you don't get tracking paw prints everywhere. Just keep in mind they cost money forever and aren't great for the planet. Also, if your dog is a chewer, eating that plastic is a serious health hazard. Washable potty pads are usually the favorite for eco-conscious folks. They are made of tough fabric layers that are way harder to shred. You save cash over time, and they're honestly more comfortable for the dog to stand on. The trade-off is that you're doing a lot more laundry. You have to wash them right, or they start to stink. If you want to get fancy, look at the innovative solutions like real grass patches or synthetic turf. For a smart breed, mimicking nature works wonders. It helps them understand the difference between the floor and their bathroom spot way better than paper does. It's more expensive and you have to clean trays, but it makes transitioning to outside huge. Pick the method that keeps your house clean and your dog successful. We need to talk about accidents that aren't accidents. It's a huge myth that every puddle is a sign of bad training or disobedience. If you react negatively to submissive or excitement urination, you are going to make it 1,000 times worse. You have to realize these leaks are emotional, physiological responses. Your miniature American Shepherd isn't peeing on the floor on purpose to spite you. They are losing bladder control because they are scared, intimidated, or just incredibly happy. Submissive urination is basically a peace offering. It's their way of saying, "I'm not a threat, please don't hurt me." It's a puppy instinct to show respect to the boss. It usually happens if they feel scolded or unsure of where they stand with you. On the flip side, you have excitement urination. This hits puppies whose love for life is bigger than their bladder muscles. When you come home and they get overstimulated, their nervous system just glitches out. They physically can't hold it because they are so happy. The golden rule here is to never, ever punish them. Scolding them will just deepen the confusion and make the anxiety leaking worse. Focus on prevention instead. Keep your greetings low-key and boring until they calm down. Get down to their level so you aren't looming over them like a giant. Scratch their chest instead of patting the top of their head. A great hack is to do all your hellos outside on the grass. If they leak out there, who cares? If a mess happens inside, clean it up without saying a word. Use an enzymatic cleaner to kill the smell so they don't mark it again. Most AMAS puppies grow out of this naturally as they get more confident. But if it's still happening when they're adults, talk to your vet to rule out a medical issue. People always ask me when they should start house training. The answer is the second that puppy walks through your front door. The sweet spot for locking in these habits is usually between 8 and 12 weeks old. During this time, your puppy's brain is like a little sponge. They absorb routines and expectations faster than you can imagine. Because this is such a huge imprinting stage, the habits they form now are going to stick hard. Starting immediately sets those boundaries from day one. I know it's testing, but starting now makes it smoother. If you procrastinate, your dog might decide they prefer peeing on rugs instead of grass. Trust me, that is a nightmare to fix later. But here's a quick reality check on developmental readiness. Don't jump the gun and expect too much too soon. Formal training really starts around 8 weeks. Trying to train a puppy younger than that is pretty much useless. They don't have the physical control over their muscles yet. They also don't have the brain power to understand what holding it even means. Before implementing a schedule, we must address the most common tool in the trainer's arsenal. Is a crate necessary? Veterinarians, professional trainers, and breeders overwhelmingly recommend crate training because it leverages the dog's biology. The American Kennel Club notes that the crate ranks high as a potty training tool because dogs are naturally clean animals that resist soiling their sleeping quarters. The Humane Society agrees that crate training is an essential management tool, though they caution that it is not a magical solution and must be used correctly to be humane. The method relies entirely on the dog's innate denning instinct. Dogs have a biological urge to keep their den or sleeping area hygienic. By simulating a den, the crate prompts them to instinctively hold their bladder until they are released and taken to their proper bathroom spot. Think about safety and prevention. It serves as a secure zone for nighttime, times when you leave the house, or moments when you cannot supervise the puppy directly. It physically trains the body to hold urine for appropriate intervals. Bladder strengthening is real. Arguably, the crate is the most potent asset for potty training a miniature American Shepherd, providing the fastest path to a reliable dog. The crate must never be used as a punishment cage. It should be a place of security and rest. But look, the crate size matters. If it is too big, the puppy will sleep in one corner and pee in the other. Most importantly, confining a puppy for excessive periods is cruel and counterproductive. It's just mean. If you work a 9-to-5 job, you cannot leave a puppy crated for the full duration. You must arrange for a dog walker, a neighbor, or a doggy daycare center to ensure the dog's physical and emotional needs are met. Bell training is a fantastic method for empowering your intelligent miniature American Shepherd to communicate their needs clearly. It eliminates the guesswork of interpreting subtle signs like whining or pacing by providing a distinct audible signal. You need a set of bells, either hung from the doorknob or a floor button, and some premium treats. Ensure the bells are loud enough for you to hear from another room, but not so aggressive that they startle your sensitive dog. Hang the bells on the knob of the door used most frequently for potty trips. If using a floor bell, place it immediately next to the exit. Ensure it is at nose or paw height for your puppy. Begin by ringing the bell yourself every time you open the door to take the puppy out. Say your cue, like outside. Teach the puppy to nose or paw the bell. Reward this action immediately with a treat and the door opening. The puppy must ring the bell to get the door to open. The jackpot reward is only given after they successfully potty outside. You must initiate the sequence every single time you go out. Ring, command, open, potty, reward. This repetition is vital for the dog to connect the sound with the relief of going outdoors. Consistency is everything, so everyone in the household must follow the same protocol. In the early stages, you must respond instantly when the bell rings. You must teach the puppy that the bell is strictly for bathroom breaks, not a request for playtime. If they ring it and just play, bring them back inside immediately to establish the boundary. All right, let's get real for a second about who exactly is living in your house. To actually fix this potty mess, you gotta stop looking at them like a toy and start seeing the world through their eyes. These little guys are descended from the Australian Shepherd, okay? They weren't built for a purse. They were forged in the American West to move cows. They are versatile ranch dogs. That means they are genetically wired to go, go, go. They are smart, high-energy problem solvers. And trust me, they crave a partnership more than they crave treats. They aren't passive pets just waiting for a belly rub. They are active participants in your life. Now, let's talk about the implications of all that energy. You know how they follow you into the bathroom? That is the Velcro factor. It's in their DNA to look to you for direction. Use that. They are always watching you, like a hawk. They pick up on routines faster than almost any other breed I know. But here's the kicker about their work ethic. You have to leverage that natural drive. Channel that brain power into positive routines. If you don't give them a job, I promise you, they will find their own entertainment. And usually, that entertainment involves chewing your baseboards. Because they are so obsessed with you, these guys can be super prone to separation anxiety. It's heartbreaking. You gotta use gradual desensitization to show them that being alone doesn't mean the world is ending. We need to keep those busy minds satisfied to stop the boredom accidents. Ditch the food bowl. Seriously, use puzzle toys to feed them meals. Make them work for it. Socialize them like crazy with other dogs and people. Look into sports like scent work or agility. It burns off that nervous energy that turns into pee on your rug. There may come a time when you believe house training is finished, only to find your puppy soiling the floor again. It happens when you least expect it. This phenomenon is known as the potty training regression period. It is undoubtedly irritating. I get it. It drives you crazy. But this is a standard phase in puppy maturity. Rather than an active rebellion, regression is almost always a symptom of a training gap. It could be a medical issue, or maybe an environmental shift messed them up. For miniature American Shepherds, regressions usually have clear causes. The primary culprit is often the adolescent phase. This typically hits between 6 and 12 months. During this time, hormonal surges cause them to challenge established rules. They want to test boundaries. Your clever mass may know the rules, but choose to see if they still apply. Environmental stress can also shatter their sense of routine. Moving to a new house or a change in your work schedule can do it. Even getting a new pet can throw them off. A very common error is an owner granting too much unsupervised freedom before the dog is fully trained. This premature trust allows mistakes to happen. Those mistakes can rapidly evolve into a bad habit. Furthermore, if previous accidents were not treated with enzymatic cleaners, you've got a problem. The remaining scent will lure them back to the same indoor spots. Lastly, sudden accidents can indicate health problems like a UTI. Always check with a vet to ensure physical health. Do this before assuming it is a behavioral issue. If regression hits, your first priority is a veterinary checkup. You need to eliminate medical causes. Painful conditions like urinary tract infections often increase the urgency to urinate. Other potential culprits could include kidney concerns or diabetes. It could be bladder stones or even vaginitis in female puppies. Training inconsistency is another most frequent cause of regression. It is common for owners to become complacent after a few dry weeks. You might start reducing supervision too early. They may stop praising outdoor success, or they stretch the time between breaks longer than the puppy can physically manage. This lack of reliability can mess things up. Combined with expecting too much too soon, it can quickly unravel the dog's training. To handle this regression, calmly revert to the basics of training. Pretend your dog is 8 weeks old again. Go back to frequent leash trips outside. Utilize a specific command word. Heavily reinforce outdoor success with premium treats and excitement. Make it a party. Strictly avoid punishment for indoor mistakes. Punishment only teaches a sensitive mass to hide from you when they need to go. Use enzymatic cleaners to obliterate any indoor odors. Soak the spot, don't just spray it. Combat stress by keeping their schedule predictable. Ensure they get ample mental and physical exercise. This strategy calms anxiety and rebuilds the necessary habits. Although it feels like a failure, regression is almost always a passing phase. It feels forever, but it's not. A regression period can last from a few days to a few weeks. Success depends on your steadfast consistency and patience. By simply reinforcing the original rules, you are helping your intelligent dog remember. They need to know what is expected of them. They will recover their training. If the issue continues despite your diligence, seek help from a veterinary behaviorist or a professional trainer for a tailored plan. To ensure a stress-free arrival for your miniature American Shepherd, you must acquire all the essentials beforehand. Fill your pantry with high-grade puppy kibble. Get high-value training treats specifically for potty rewards. Think freeze-dried liver or cheese. Buy stainless steel dishes. Set up a cozy crate to act as their den. Crucially, if you buy a crate sized for an adult MAS, ensure it comes with a divider panel. This allows you to shrink the interior space. You don't want the puppy to sleep in one corner and eliminate in the other. For their safety in walks, you will need a properly sized harness or collar. Get a sturdy leash. Make sure you have an identification tag with your details. Since this is a clever working breed, stock up on puzzle toys. Get durable chews to keep their mind occupied. A bored AMS is a destructive AMS. Preparing your home environment is vital. You need to protect both your possessions and your new pet. Rigorous puppy proofing involves hiding electrical wires. Remove poisonous flora like lilies or sago palms. Lock away household chemicals. Because many Aussies are agile and small, ensure your yard fencing is gap-free to prevent escapes. They can squeeze through surprisingly small openings. Indoors, use baby gates to construct a puppy zone. A kitchen or room with easy-to-clean floors works best for manageable supervision. Decide on your outdoor toilet spot immediately. The initial weeks are defined by routine and management. This is how you build a foundation for the future. Create a rigid schedule for naps, play, bathroom breaks, and meals. This gives your puppy a sense of security. Commence early socialization immediately. Introduce them to diverse people, noises, and environments to boost their confidence. Introduce basic commands using positive reinforcement. Keep it fun and light. Think about joining a puppy class. It is a great way to encourage proper social etiquette. It really pays off in the long run. Listen, surviving the night shift requires a real game plan, not just luck. You need a structured approach that balances their tiny physical needs with teaching them to sleep through the night. It starts with building a predictable evening ritual to empty that bladder and soothe them down. But here is the most important step of all. Limit their food and water intake for about 90 minutes to 2 hours before bedtime. Seriously, cut them off. This simple tactic prevents their tiny bladder from filling up while they sleep, which saves your sheets. It mitigates the risk of bedwetting significantly. As the night winds down, you have to stop the wrestling matches. Switch from high-octane play to calming interactions during that final hour. This downtime lowers your puppy's metabolic rate and heart rate, priming them for a deep sleep. Now, for overnight training, the crate is absolutely indispensable. Keep that crate right in your bedroom for the first few weeks. This proximity ensures you will hear them if they wake up with a genuine need to go outside. Plus, hearing your breathing will comfort the puppy, which reduces separation anxiety. You have to accept that a puppy aged 8 to 12 weeks lacks the physiological maturity to hold it. They can't hold their urine for 8 hours. Consequently, you must take them out during the night to maintain your routine. You do this to keep the crate clean. During the first week or two, be proactive rather than waiting for distress signals. It's better to wake them up than to clean up a mess. For example, if you sleep at 11 p.m. and your puppy is 8 weeks old, their bladder may only hold for 3 to 4 hours. Setting an alarm for 2:30 or 3 a.m. to wake them for a potty break is a key strategy. This approach prevents accidents. It reinforces that you control the schedule, which is fundamental for house training. Crucially, keep these night trips strictly business. Keep the lights low, use a hushed voice, and do not play with the puppy. Carry them out, give the command, and reward calmly when they go. Immediately return them to the crate. If you engage in play, your high-energy mass will think 3 a.m. is playtime. That creates a difficult habit to break. People ask me about indoor potty pads or wee-wee pads all the time. It is a common consideration for owners. The decision ultimately rests on your particular lifestyle, your dog's requirements, and your long-term training objectives. However, for a breed like the miniature American Shepherd that thrives on activity and outdoor life, these indoor solutions are generally ill-advised. Although they appear convenient for apartment dwellers or rainy days, they often cause significant long-term behavioral issues. Relying on pads suggests to the puppy that eliminating inside the home is acceptable. It sends a mixed signal that undermines your goal of outdoor training. Furthermore, a high-energy mini Aussie is likely to view the pad as a shreddable toy rather than a bathroom. It happens all the time. Ingesting the plastic backing and absorbent gel can lead to dangerous intestinal blockages. Additionally, this creates a surface preference, where the dog becomes accustomed to soft substrates. They may later reject dirt or grass. This complication makes the transition to exclusive outdoor toileting much more difficult. You may find your dog targeting bath mats or area rugs because they feel similar to the pads. While potty pads are generally discouraged for an Australian Shepherd, they sense as a necessary last resort in specific, unavoidable situations. Their use is justified when immediate outdoor access is impossible. This includes residents in high-rise apartments or owners with severe mobility issues. Safety concerns, like protecting an unvaccinated puppy in a high-risk area, also make them a practical tool. In these limited circumstances, pads are used for management, not as a substitute for proper training. If you must use indoor options, consider a fresh grass patch subscription, or try a Great System litter box to avoid the texture confusion of cloth pads. For a smart dog that will spend its life exploring the outdoors, focusing all efforts on a designated yard spot is far more effective. To prevent confusing your puppy, there should be only one type of designated bathroom area. You must use it consistently. Don't mix it up. Stick to the plan. It pays off in the end. House training, or potty training, is one of the initial and most fundamental hurdles for any new puppy owner. In reality, there is no fixed graduation date for this training. Every dog learns differently. It is a nuanced, lengthy undertaking that can often feel frustrating. For a miniature American Shepherd, you should anticipate that it will take 4 to 6 months to achieve reasonable reliability. However, reaching a stage of total trust, where supervision is minimal, may take 8 months to a full year. This timeline is flexible. Even within the breed, variation exists. Some mini Aussies are bold, others are sensitive. Their learning curves will differ. You must observe your own dog's unique progress and personality. A general rule of thumb for bladder control is that a puppy can hold it for their age and months, +1. That is calculated in hours. A 3-month-old puppy can typically hold it for 4 hours maximum during the day. Consistency from the owner is paramount. This is the single most important factor. If you maintain a strict schedule, supervise diligently, and reward immediately, the process will accelerate. Conversely, inconsistent signals will baffle your intelligent dog and drag out the process. In conclusion, while you can see significant progress within the first few months, don't be discouraged. Your Australian Shepherd isn't going to be perfectly trained by 6 months old. Be prepared for regression. Understand that achieving rock-solid, worry-free potty habits is a marathon, not a sprint. It often requires most of the first year to fully establish. Stick with it. Don't give up. It gets easier. You will get there eventually. Just keep your eyes on the prize. You should pick a consistent verbal command for going to the bathroom. Use something like go potty, do business, or hurry up. To avoid baffling your puppy, select a short, distinct phrase. Adhere to it without variation. The timing of this command is critical. In the beginning, say the phrase while the dog is in the act of eliminating, not before. This creates a Pavlovian association between the word and the physical action. Once the association is cemented, usually after a few weeks, you can use the phrase to prompt the behavior before they go. It works like magic. Let's be honest, housebreaking is the absolute worst part of raising a puppy. It is grueling. Why is it so hard? Because it's not just a training exercise, it's a full-on battle against biology. Unlike teaching a fun trick like shake or sit, which actually engages your dog's mind, potty training requires you to override a miniature American Shepherd's basic physiological drives. It is a complicated, multi-layered mission. You have to open a clear line of communication with an animal that can't speak, and you have to maintain totally unwavering uniformity while you do it. It's tough because you are actively fighting your puppy's developing body and their raw instincts. See, a puppy is biologically wired to just let go the second the urge strikes. They have absolutely no built-in concept of indoors versus outdoors. To make it harder, their developing bodies lack the neurological maturity to even recognize the urge in advance. They also lack the muscular strength to hold it for any real amount of time. You need a general rule of thumb, right? A puppy can hold their bladder for 1 hour for every month of age, +1. But remember, that is a maximum, not a guarantee. Complicating matters further is how fast they develop substrate preference. That's a fancy way of saying if your puppy accidentally goes on a rug a few times, they imprint on that soft texture. They start to view your expensive carpet as their designated bathroom. Reversing this is a nightmare. It requires hundreds of successful outdoor repetitions to overwrite nature and install a new habit. Ultimately, the success or failure of this whole thing rests almost entirely on you. You have to be consistent, patient, and vigilant. It's mentally and physically exhausting because it requires absolute supervision. You must have eyes on your mini American constantly. If you can't give them your full attention, you have to use a crate or keep them tethered to your waist, which we call the umbilical cord method. The timetable is relentless. You're looking at outdoor excursions after every meal, every nap, and every play session. This inevitably disrupts your personal schedule. It definitely includes sleep-depriving trips in the middle of the night. Plus, you are required to scrub every accident with specific enzymatic cleaners to completely erase the pheromones. If you don't, those smells just invite them to reoffend in the exact same spot. In short, potty training is hard because it's a complex negotiation between human and animal. It's a fight against instinct. It is a marathon of consistency that will test your patience. It's brutal. However, grasping these difficulties allows you to handle the process with empathy and strategic planning. You can be confident that your clever miniature American Shepherd will succeed through your steady guidance. For a breed with the acute awareness and high energy of the miniature American Shepherd, socialization is not just a suggestion. It is a vital, non-negotiable part of responsible ownership. Because these dogs share the herding lineage of their larger Australian Shepherd cousins, they can sometimes be reserved or wary of strangers. Broad and positive early socialization is your primary defense against fear-based reactivity. It also stops excessive territorial guarding. A properly socialized mini American matures into a poised, steady, and perceptive dog. They become capable of distinguishing between actual threats and mundane daily occurrences. You must introduce your puppy to new people, dogs, and other pets in a controlled and positive manner. Transport them to safe environments where they can experience novel smells, sights, and sounds. However, safety is paramount here. Avoid unpredictable areas like public dog parks until the puppy is older, fully vaccinated, and possesses a reliable recall. Your socialization checklist should include exposure to household noises, like doorbells, blenders, and vacuums. You also need to tackle outdoor clamor, such as construction work, sirens, and traffic. While socialization is crucial for all dogs, it is especially important for herding breeds. In the case of the miniature American Shepherd, Their sharp intellect and vigilance must be channeled into confidence rather than anxiety. An anxious dog is often too frightened to eliminate outside. This leads to accidents indoors where they feel safe. Frequent positive early exposure teaches them social grace. It prevents their herding drive from manifesting as ankle nipping or controlling behaviors toward children or guests. This involves curating positive, controlled encounters rather than flooding them in chaotic crowds. You must be your puppy's protector. Never allow them to be swarmed by strangers or unknown dogs. The critical window for this learning is during their first few months, usually up to 16 weeks. However, ensure your puppy has received their initial vaccinations before you allow them to interact with unfamiliar dogs. You have to prevent diseases like parvovirus. In this section, we are going to talk about the top 10 training mistakes owners make while potty training this intelligent, sensitive breed. First mistake is punishing accidents. You must never scold, yell at, or punish your mini American for a mishap. This breed is super sensitive. Punishment teaches them that you are dangerous, not that the action is wrong. This causes them to hide behind sofas or in closets to do their business, creating a much larger issue. It fails to teach the correct location and only succeeds in eroding their trust in you. Second mistake is inconsistent schedule. Your clever dog relies on patterns. If meal times, water access, and bathroom breaks are random, their digestive system cannot regulate. Without a predictable internal clock, it is impossible for their body to establish a reliable routine. Third mistake is too much freedom too soon. Allowing an untrained puppy to roam the house unsupervised is a recipe for disaster. This grants them unlimited chances to soil the house. It effectively practices and reinforces the habit of indoor elimination. If you aren't watching them, they should be in a crate or pen. Fourth mistake is improper cleaning. Using standard household cleaners like ammonia or bleach is insufficient. If you skip the enzymatic cleaner, your dog's sensitive nose will detect the protein markers of previous accidents. This lingering odor serves as a beacon, marking the carpet as an acceptable toilet. Fifth mistake is relying on potty pads. Using pads sends a mixed signal that eliminating inside the house on soft surfaces is acceptable. Your miniature American Shepherd may assume this rule applies to bath mats, area rugs, and laundry. This complicates the transition to outdoor-only habits. It is generally better to train for outdoors immediately. Sixth mistake is weak rewards. A mumbled "good boy" is insufficient for this difficult task. If you do not utilize high-value traits and exuberant praise the moment they finish outside, you fail. You aren't providing a compelling currency for them to hold their bladder. Seventh mistake is confusing potty and playtime. A frequent error is allowing play in the yard before business is concluded. The puppy will become distracted by leaves or wind and forget to go. Then they will immediately have an accident upon returning to the calm, boring interior of the house. Remember, business first, play second. Eighth mistake is missing their signals. Puppies rarely go without warning. They usually circle, sniff, or whine first. Overlooking these cues is a failure of observation. It's a missed chance to intercept an accident. Ninth mistake is using the crate incorrectly. Utilizing the crate as a jail for punishment or leaving them confined too long will act against you. It will either cause them to resent their den or force them to soil it due to physical necessity. This destroys their natural instinct to keep their sleeping area clean. 10th mistake is mishandling regressions. Becoming frustrated when your adolescent mini American backslides is counterproductive. Regression is common between 6 to 12 months. Treat setbacks as a signal to patiently return to basics, like more supervision and more treats. Do this rather than assuming the dog is being rebellious.
Once the location is selected, your primary goal is to signal to your miniature American Shepherd that this specific patch of ground is the restroom. The golden rule is to reinforce the behavior the instant your dog completes the act in the correct area. Adopt a joyous, high-pitched tone, exclaiming, "Yes, good potty, good dog," the moment they finish. Follow this praise instantly with a premium reward. I'm talking a treat reserved exclusively for bathroom successes, such as tiny pieces of boiled chicken, cheese, or freeze-dried liver. This rapid-fire positive reinforcement is your most effective instrument. It forges a direct link in their brain. Relief plus grass equals chicken. This transforms a confusing biological need into a rewarding game. This robust association clarifies exactly what you want, making the puppy eager to comply.
Timing is everything. This is a non-negotiable rule. You have a window of only 1 to 2 seconds to deliver the reward after they finish. Dogs experience life in the immediate present. If you delay the treat until you are back in the kitchen, they will think they are being rewarded for walking through the door. Or they might think it's for sitting on the rug, not for the elimination that happened moments prior in the yard. It is important to use a high-value treat that is distinct from their regular diet. Offering a piece of their standard dry kibble is rarely sufficient. It lacks the motivational power to convince them to control their urges and wait for the outdoors. The reward must be worth the effort of holding it. As a breed that is both highly intellectual and expressive, the miniature American Shepherd will typically broadcast their need to eliminate. They do this through vocalizations, body movements, or both. These actions are urgent requests for a bathroom break, and you must immediately guide them to their zone. Interpreting your individual dog's specific language is a cornerstone of effective house training. While their signals may become more subtle as they mature, maintaining vigilance is key. Some frequent signs include intense sniffing. A sudden, concentrated investigation of the floor is a primary precursor to bathroom needs. They are hunting for a toilet. If your mini American puppy abruptly disengages from play to glue their nose to the carpet, take them out instantly. Circling is another huge one. This is a classic potty sign. Your dog may begin to walk in tight loops, focusing on a specific patch of floor. This behavior stems from an ancient instinct to trample down vegetation and scan for threats before becoming vulnerable. Restlessness and pacing is also common. If your usually calm dog suddenly cannot find a comfortable spot, they are likely feeling bladder pressure. They might trot back and forth, hover near the exit, or appear generally unsettled. This shift from relaxation to agitation is a major red flag. Watch for sudden halts in play. Should your puppy abruptly freeze in the middle of a game of tug or fetch, looking distracted or far away, their focus has likely shifted to an urgent physical need. Sneaking off is a bad sign. If the puppy tries to vanish behind furniture, under a table, or into a dark corner, an accident is seconds away. This indicates they have moved past the urge phase and are actively locating a private spot to go. Making eye contact and vocalizing is common too. A clever miniature American Shepherd will soon learn to solicit your help. They may approach you, lock eyes, which is a common trait of the breed, and glance toward the exit. This might be paired with whining, a soft cry, or a bark. Listen to the pitch. A bathroom request usually sounds different, more urgent and sharp than a play bark. Nudging or pawing at you happens when subtle hints fail. Your dog may escalate to physical prompts, such as bumping you with their nose or pawing at your arm. This is a clear, urgent plea for assistance. Finally, look for squatting or posturing. This is the most imminent sign. Females will lower themselves to the ground. Males will initially squat before learning to lift a leg later in life. Both will hunch their backs to defecate. If you witness this, you must act with lightning speed. Interrupt them gently, maybe by clapping your hands, and rush them outside. Whenever you notice these cues, you must respond immediately and hurry your puppy to their spot. Although very young pups may not broadcast these signs clearly at the start, they will eventually learn to signal you. Each dog is distinct, and as you bond, you may discover unique indicators specific to your pet. Patience and consistency are the twin pillars of success. These virtues are the requirement of the human half of the equation, not the canine. Training is a massive project that demands time, particularly with a breed as high energy, sensitive, and smart as this one. Some puppies may need more repetition than others to grasp the concept fully. Even though miniature American Shepherds are astute learners, they cannot download instructions instantly like a computer. You will encounter obstacles, especially regarding potty habits, but you must avoid anger. Losing your temper frightens the dog and sets training back. Instead, maintain a steady and patient approach to guarantee long-term victory. To avoid sending mixed messages, every member of the family must enforce the same rules and use the same cues. For example, everyone says, "Go potty," not a mix of "hurry up and do your business." Training is a developmental journey, a marathon, not a sprint. Each puppy develops on their own timeline. The foundation of a well-behaved dog is built on your unwavering patience and consistency. The energy you invest now in raising a disciplined dog will pay dividends for the rest of their life. Be sure to rejoice in the small victories. Training is an ongoing dialogue rather than a final exam. Your dedication will eventually yield a brilliant, devoted, and perfectly mannered companion for years to come.